Hey girlies, hey gays, hey theys, and welcome back to Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian, a podcast for the girls who like girls, for the gays, for the queers, for anybody who is a little bit gay. Hope you're all well. Happy New Year, whoop whoop. Currently filming on New Year's Eve, but when this episode goes live, I can't speak, goes live, it will be New Year's. How exciting. It will be 2025. Have you all been setting your goals for 2025? I have. I've been vision boarding, lots of podcast stuff on there. My goals for the pod in the new year, I would love like a proper little podcast studio, even if it is just like in my house. I want to like make the background more podcast studio vibes. Maybe get like one of them like big fluffy like chairs that people sit on when they podcast. I feel like one of them would be very comfy. And what else did I have for the podcast? Oh yeah, I'd love to get some ads on. I actually had someone like lined up, like fully sent them the invoice and then they just started airing me, so that's fun. And then I had another brand reach out to ask if I would share something for free, and I was like, no, but here's if you want to pay, like so cheap. And then they ignored me as well, so it's off to a great start. But hopefully in the new year there'll be some brands that will want to work together, collaborate on ads, and then hopefully if you all download the podcast, if I reach a certain amount of downloads in 30 days, the place I host the podcast on, I can then qualify to have ads through them, which can then hopefully earn some money, because my main goal for 2025 is to make content creation and podcasting like the mainstream of my income. Currently it's nowhere near even scraping, but the plan is for it to, reach that level. So if you could all support me by following me on Instagram and TikTok, following the podcast on Instagram and TikTok, reviewing the podcast, just any way you can share the name of the podcast and supporting my social medias, I'm so grateful for. And yeah, it'd just be really fun to be able to like say, like someone goes like, what's your job? And I'm like, I'm a podcast host and content creator. Like, what? Wouldn't that be incredible? And don't get me wrong, I love dance teaching and I love doing princess parties, but I don't see them being my forever job. I see like going down the social media route more full time. It's where my passions lie, so that's something I'm really wanting to go for in 2025. So my vision board fully reflects that. My goals for 2025 fully reflect that. Let me see if I can show you. I bought the productivity planner. I've got the digital one and the non-digital one. Let me see if I can show you the vision board on there. This is obviously just for my visual girlies. I'll just show you like the first half, because there is one top secret thing on there that I can't show anyone. Not because I don't love you all, because it's a secret. So I've got like, I want to reach my 10k followers. I've got like content creation being my full-time job. This is the little vibe for the podcast studio. There's another one on there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yes, I can zoom into it. I want to be able to travel a bit more, and turtles are my favourite animals in the whole world, so I want to be able to see some turtles whilst I'm travelling. But yeah, there is one top secret thing on there that I can't show you all I'm crashing on things, for the reason being, if I tell you all, it potentially won't happen. And I know that's not how like manifestation works, but it's the fact that if I tell you all and put it out there, then the thing might not happen because I've told you all about the thing. It's really hard to explain. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to tell you all about the thing if it happens. If I'm successful, I'll be able to tell you all when it happens. But yeah, for now, that is top secret information. My mum scared me because it's on my phone vision board. It's obviously not covered, but when I posted it on Instagram, my mum was like, oh, but you posted it on there. And I was like, did I? Because it literally said when I'm being in the works for this thing, it's like, do not mention this to anyone. Obviously my mum knows, but that's fine. But it was like, do not mention this to anyone, do not tell the press, do not put it on social media, do not speak about this thing. And when mum said I put it on my Instagram, I was like, oh my god, it's never going to happen. But I checked and it's definitely covered up. Yeah, enough about random stuff that I can't tell you about. Another thing that I can nearly tell you about, the filming me and Taylor did in London, that is going to be going live on Instagram and TikTok in January, so this month when you guys are listening. So keep your eyes out on my social media. I'll be sharing it on there, and then I'll be able to tell you on the podcast where you can find it on the brand social media. I actually did share on Instagram like the brands I've worked with. I don't know why I did that. The brands I've worked with in 2024. So if you look on there, you will see the brand that I've worked with, but I'm not going to say it because, again, I don't want to get in trouble for anything. Did you all have a good Christmas? I hope so. I had a lovely Christmas. Obviously we went down to Dorset So we flew down to Bristol. Everyone sounds like a farmer. I was like, can I get you anything else, love? That was a really bad Bristol accent in the airport. It was lovely spending some time with Taylor and her family. And on Christmas Day we went out for Christmas dinner. It was nice, wasn't the best, but it was nice. Gavin and Stacey, I've just got my little notes on my digital planner. Got my notes to chat to you all about. It's so fun. It was quite expensive, you know. So I bought the actual planner. That's not come yet. That was like 20 quid on TikTok Shop. And then the planner, £40. However, I got it. She has this like sale on at the minute. So I bought it on the sale. I thought, £40. But it is quite fun because literally everything's on there. Like finances, invoices, goals for the year, goals for the month, goals for the week, goals for the day. Like everything's on there. So it is really cool. So I've got my little podcast notes up. Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. You guys, wasn't it? Mind blowing. What was everyone's like biggest shock? Mine was probably Gwen and Dave Coaches. I mean, we knew they weren't going to tell us about the fishing trip, and we knew the first scene was not going to be like Nessa and what's his name and Smithy getting married. It just wasn't going to be that. We knew there was going to be like something going on. Sonia, what a bitch, hate her. What a fab actress though. I hate seeing like people being like mean to the actress. It's like, no, she's a good person. Sonia, the character she played, is not a good person. So justice for Sonia in real life. Sonia's, I don't know what her real name is. Yeah, it was brilliant. I loved it. If you've not seen it, I apologise because I probably have just given some spoilers. Yeah, it was just so good, wasn't it? I just love Gavin and Stacey, and I've got my mum on it, so she's currently watching the Christmas special, like the last Christmas special before the finale episode. Right now, she's been watching it all, and she's loving it, which is good because it's just such a feel good show, isn't it? You can just watch it and you can do other things, and it's just happy TV is what I like. Anything else to tell you? Oh my god, yeah, guys, today it's mine and Taylor's anniversary. How cute! So technically, it's not like, well, it is our anniversary, but we didn't actually meet until I think it was March 15th in 2021. But we've been talking all throughout December 2020. So we class this as our anniversary. I guess it is, but it's not like our meeting in person anniversary. But we celebrate it today, and we are celebrating by going out to the Indians with my mum and dad. We were going to go out for a meal, just the two of us, and then Taylor was like, well, actually, I want Indians, and right next door to the Indians is an Italians, and the guys who own them both are brothers, so my dad asked them if I could have a pizza from the Italians brought over to the Indians, and they said yes. So technically I'm having Italians and everyone else is having Indians, which will be quite cute. And obviously it's New Year's Eve, so it'll be nice to spend it with my family as well. I don't really think there's much else to update you guys on, so I think without further ado, let's get straight on into this week's episode. So guys, this week's question of the week, let me bring up your guys' responses. It is for the femme lesbians, and the question of the week is, femme lesbians, what do you do / wear to make yourself look gay or more gay? I'm going to read you guys the responses. So if there are any femme lesbians out there watching who want to come across more gay, maybe they're out in the dating pool or they just want to avoid the are you sisters, are you best friend questions, which me and Taylor are getting so much recently. Like, we're dog sitting at the minute. I've come back home to film the podcast. We're dog sitting at the minute, and we went round the other day. We've been looking after this person's dog for probably like 2 years. And she was like, oh, will you both be staying? And we were like, oh, yeah. And she was like, oh, well, I can make up a different bedroom. And we were like, no, it's okay. And she was like, are you sure you don't mind staying in the bed together? And we were like, it's fine. So she definitely thought we were sisters or best friends, but it's all good. So maybe I need to take on board some of these tips as well. Also, I'm really sorry my footstool keeps squeaking. I'm going to move it out of the way. Oh, I feel like you're all going to be getting annoyed with the squeak. So here are the responses. So femme lesbians, take notes. Chunky rings. A nose ring. A lesbian flag bracelet, because I don't know what else to wear. I feel like that's cute. Nose ring on the left side does the job, fake or real. I wonder if that thing is like what side it's on means like you're gay or not. Tattoos. My girlfriend. There's lots of those comments. We've got more rings, septum piercing. The best accessory is my girlfriend. Thumb rings. Oh, 2 seconds till I ring, which we answer on the podcast. Hello, Taylor Morgan Rose Rolton. You are live on Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian. Say hello to the listeners.
Oh, hey guys, I'm so sorry.
Come home is the answer.
I didn't realise that you were podcasting.
That's okay. Come
sorry,
home.
quickly. Alex has said that he will go to the football game with you.
Yes! I forgot to tell the podcast about that. Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, I'm just driving home, so I'll see you in a minute.
I love you.
I love you, bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going to get back to the question of the week in a second. Let me fill you in on that phone call. So basically, bought me and Taylor tickets to the North London Derby, club level tier 2, for tier 1, but club level tier 2, a bit more of a bougie experience than just sitting in the normal seats, because we hardly ever go. We literally go like once a year. So I'm like, we may as well, pay a lot bit more for tickets. They're hardly expensive. And then we're talking about it today, and Taylor's like, wait, hang on a second, I think I've got like an exam on that day. She does. So I asked one of Taylor's best friends to go with me, because I know he loves going to the football. It's actually Alex who was on the podcast. So I know Alex loves going to the football. So Alex is going to come to the football with me, which is very exciting. Anyway, back to the question of the week. Lots of rings and septum piercings. I don't. Some say they can tell, some come and ask me. Fair enough. My mask fiance seems to do the trick. Yeah, I get that. Someone said pure eye contact, girly. I do feel like if, like, say you're out in a club and you've made that like strong eye contact with someone, like if someone is clearly not interested in, the other woman, they're not going to be like intensely making this I fancy you, I want to fuck you eye contact. Do you get what I mean? So I do feel like that could work. Someone says please do tell, so clearly they're needing the answers. My mask girlfriend, hope this helps. Lots of rings, tattoos and facial piercings. I got my septum and do all of the things in the comments, but my son throws it all off. I'm going to be alone forever. That's sad, isn't it? I commented back to this person and said, I'm sure the right person will come along for you. That's really sad, isn't it, that people like disregard her just because she's got a son? How rude. My septum piercing. Rings and rainbow jewellery. My aura. Eye contact is all I got, boo. Thumb rings and my girlfriend. My SLT Studios ring. I'm sure. Let me click on it actually. Yeah, it is. That is. Have you all seen Amy from I Kissed a Girl? She does like the dyke rings. I think she does like a diva ring. I'm trying to have a look on her Instagram. Yeah, brat slut. She does like the really cool like chunky rings. So I feel like one with dyke on definitely is going to give it away. They're like £100 though. Did you guys know that? Multiple rings. I don't, and people always seem surprised despite me being quite openly gay. Wearing a pussy on my face. Someone like tagged someone in the comments being like, this person. Rings and piercings, like nose piercings. Vampire nails. What do they look like? Let's click on the search icon. Or like blood red. Oh, okay, yeah. Like maybe like the ones where you have some shorter than others. And people are like, oh yeah, I do bowling. Or do you mean like the blood red ones? I don't know. TikTok gave me both options there. Doc Martens, lots of rings, thumb rings specifically, and a carabiner on the belt loop. Long flirty handshakes. A girlfriend holding your hand. Carabiner on the belt. Someone just commented, this is a emoji. I mean, fair. And a mask on your arm should do it. So I think the most common answer to this week's question of the week was, to look more gay if you're a femme lesbian, you need a mask girlfriend. But if you are on the hunt for a mask girlfriend, thumb rings, nose piercings, septum piercings, tattoos, carabiners, rainbow jewellery seem to do the trick. Do I do any of that stuff? I really don't think so. I did wear a thumb ring, but I lost it on the airplane, so I wear this ring. My jewellery is not rainbowy. I tell you what though, I have found a lovely like gay jewellery brand. It's called like Forever Femme maybe? Maybe I'm making that up. But it does like not in your face jewellery. It's like beautiful like gold bracelets and then like dotted on the bracelet are like different like rainbow colours. They look so beautiful. So maybe I shall invest in one of them. Not like I need to tell people that I'm gay. So I have a girlfriend. I mean, probably the biggest thing I do to look gay is have this podcast. So if someone follows me on Instagram, instantly they know that I'm gay because it's the first thing you see in my bio. So there we go, femme lesbians. I hope that helped you out with things to help you look a little bit more gay if that is what you want, but you don't have to dress any certain way. You can wear whatever the heck you want. I don't dress particularly gay. Sometimes I look at myself and be like, I want to look more gay, so maybe I do need to like take on some of these criticisms, because sometimes I think, oh, I look too straight, but I don't think there's such thing as looking too straight, and I don't really care what other people think of me, so I should just not worry about it. Yeah, I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to get into some of your guys' questions, dilemmas, and stories. Let's bring them up. I'm excited. There's been quite a few sent in this week, but some of them are like seriously short. Like some of you guys have literally just like, you haven't given me any details. You've just given me like, I did this, which is totally fine. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything you guys sent me in. So, the first one. The way that all lesbians are linked. How did I end up knowing this random girl in a concert queue 3 hours away? It's happened already, guys. I can't talk. Let's try again. Deep breath. The way that all lesbians are linked. How did I end up knowing this random girl in a concert queue's 3 hours away ex-girlfriend's friend? That was a mouthful. All lesbians seem to be linked. It's wild. LMAO. So you knew you were in a queue for a concert 3 hours away from home, and you saw someone's ex-girlfriend's friend. That's a lot to wrap my little brain around. But that if that doesn't prove that lesbians are linked and everyone knows someone, I don't know what does. I actually feel like I'm a bit of like a, I don't know what the word is, like a anomaly to the rule. Is that the right thing? I've not done maths or school terms in a long time. But like, I don't really feel like I know that many lesbians. Maybe because I don't go out very often. Maybe that is the problem. But yeah, like, I feel like if me and Taylor broke up and then I was getting with someone else, I feel like the chances of like Taylor knowing that person or Taylor knowing someone who knew that person, I feel like the chances would be quite slim. But I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that is very true. Most lesbians do seem to be linked. Next one. When I was in... Oh, I clicked off it. There we go. When I was in 3rd grade, I said I was lesbian and told a story that wasn't even true because I just thought being lesbian was cool. Turns out I'm able to predict the future. I love that. I mean, the fact that you had the confidence in 3rd grade, I'm assuming that's like equivalent of year 3 / maybe like year 4 in England, which is very young. So the fact that you knew that young and had the confidence to own it. I mean, I feel like when you're that young, you just could not give a flying fuck what people think about you. As you get older, I feel like as you get to like high school, you start to like compare yourself to others and you start to like really hide away. Taylor's going to come show us the nails. Oh, she got the ones I wanted. Oh, I told you they would slay. Wow, show the pods. Guys, we're matching. Well, kind of. Taylor's got
sparkles
black.
on them.
I see them. Wow, hold them up like this.
Oh.
Look at us, guys. Ew. We're matching. Oh, I love them.
Guys.
I love them.
Oh, hang on, I've got a good one.
I told the pod that it was our anniversary.
I've got a good one. Oh, that really
You're
hurts.
strange.
I know.
Yeah. Isn't that like the best thing about being gay? Like, the femme can get her like long nails and then...
I told her that she needed to cut them as short as humanly possible. And they're not that short.
Right, file them down, woman. Got my pimple
Yeah,
patches
that
on.
one's just falling off a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I'm not kissing you on camera, that's gay. I love you.
How rude, I love you.
Monsieur Lefranc said hi.
Oh, hi Frankie, I love you. That's my cat. So, back to the podcast. Sorry for that second interruption of the day from Taylor. Yeah, the fact that you had the confidence to do that, what was I saying? Yeah, like when you get to high school, you just start to like, I mean, I know I was like so conscious of what people thought of me. Even though I was still very much a confident person, I was like, I had like 0 friends because everyone just thought I was this like big, confident, show-offy person because I was very secure in who I was as a person, and everyone used to say I was lesbian and used to cry. So I'm glad that you had the confidence to own it, and the fact that you are now a lesbian to this day is incredible. Proud of you. I thought I was immune from the stereotype of falling in love with your best friend until I realised I definitely was not. Safe to say it didn't end well. Oh dear. I feel like sometimes that's worse, isn't it? Like, you're convincing yourself that you're not in love with this person, but deep down you are. Because I feel like that's just going to hurt your feelings more in the long run if you're like, from the get-go, like, you sort of know that maybe you're in love with this person and it's never going to work out. You can prepare yourself for that, but if you're like, no, we're just friends, and then you realise that are feelings involved, and then those feelings get crushed, I feel like that might cut a little deeper. Yeah, I'm very sorry that you had to go through that. Do you feel like that is another very typical lesbian stereotype? Like, what's some big lesbian stereotypes? I know we've done this as a question of the week, haven't we? Knowing every single lesbian and being exes, friends, girlfriends, brothers, cousins, dogs, sisters, girlfriend, or falling in love with your best friend. And touch wood, thankfully, I've never done either. Next one. I dated my best friend twice within 2 years. Keeping up with the stereotype. I mean, good for you. You said dated, not I'm still dating. So I'm assuming that means it didn't work out. I wonder what, like, maybe that should be a question of the week. Like, what percentage of friends to lovers relationships last, and what percentage, like, crumble and don't work? Maybe that should be a question of the week. I feel like that would be quite interesting. Bit of, like, market research. It's not really market research, is it? But you get the gist of what I'm saying. Yeah, twice in 2 years. Wow. I wonder, like, because I've never been in that situation, but I wonder, like, how does the friendship work after? Because clearly you guys dated, stopped dating, maybe went back to friends, or maybe you didn't speak and the friendship was ruined, then you tried dating again, and then it stopped. Do you know what I mean? Like, how does the friendship work? Like, can you go back to being friends after you've... I guess it depends how deep the relationship was. If you kissed and went on a couple of dates, I feel like friends do that anyway. Like, I've kissed my friends when I was younger, and, like, you know, you might just go to a restaurant with the two of you. That doesn't mean it's a date. But say you'd been, you know, in each other's knickers, it's a bit harder to then just go back to being friends, and maybe, you know, like, let's just go back to be friends, but then what happens if you share a bed after a night out? What happens then? So I feel like it definitely is a bit of a recipe for disaster. So maybe we need to have that as a question of the week. Okay, moving on. This is a story from my first girlfriend when I was around 15. We'd been together for about 5 months and we started to think it was serious. One day she asked about having sex. So obviously in my horny 15-year-old mind I said yes, why don't we try it? Brackets. Context for the next bit, I'm a mask and she was a femme. So she said, okay. Okay. She's written okay. So I'm reading this. Okay. Okay. Start again, I got distracted by the okie, okay. So she said, okie, okay. Well, who does what? Because we both kind of thought it had to be the mask, but we came and decided maybe it didn't have to be. So she said, how about I do stuff to you? And I, not knowing much about this stuff, asked how, because anything I'd seen was a mask strapping a femme, and so I was confused. She then said, I have a good idea, and whips out a hairbrush, still confused. I asked if she was doing her hair, she said no, then proceeded to say to me, it was to use on me. I'm feeling like that's not something we should use, got up and left her house and didn't speak to her for about a week. 7 years on, we are married, and I still think about how that was like a building block for this relationship somehow. That is so brilliant. That's so funny. I mean, I feel like when you're that young, like, you have to explore a little bit and you're not meant to know all the answers. I mean, sex education at school teaches you absolutely nothing. Sorry, I'm pulling my footrest closer because I'm uncomfortable and can't sit still. Yeah, like, sex education at school teaches you nothing. I remember everyone in my class just laughed and then they gave us, like, a dildo, and said, someone put a condom on the dildo, and, like, no one wanted to do it because everyone thought, like, no. And this one boy, he was called Bailey, shout out Bailey if you're watching the pod, probably not, he did it, and then they made him do it with, like, gloves on and goggles, and they were like, this is what it feels like to do it drunk, good luck. That was it. I mean, nothing about same-sex sex, like, nothing. So I feel like it is impossible, and it is a lot of trial and error. I remember when me and Taylor first got together, I texted one of my friends being like, so how does it work? Please enlighten me. Like, it's scary. I've had one of my friends who's a couple of years younger than me came out to me, and I was like, listen, if you need anything, if you just need to ask, how does it work? I'm here for you, because it's so scary to not know, especially if you're going into a relationship with somebody who knows more than you, but you don't want to come across as not knowing, you want to go in with like a bit of knowledge. Like, it's so stressful. So I just think that's so funny though. The hairbrush. I love it. I'm really hoping it was not like the spiky. I mean, actually you didn't do it, did you? You said you left, but I really hope she wasn't planning on putting the spiky end up your coochie. Really hope so. But yeah, 7 years on, now you're married. That is so cute. What a fun story. I was going to say that you can tell your kids. You probably don't want to tell your kids that story. Like, sweetie, come sit down. I'm going to tell you about when mummy wanted to put a hairbrush up mummy's coochie. Maybe that's one just to keep between yourselves. But you know what, a fun little memory to look back on and giggle at in the future when, yeah, maybe your kids might want to know the story. They might ask, Mummy, tell me a funny story from your past, and you've got one in your belt. Yeah, I think that's so cute. And congratulations on your marriage. How exciting. Okay, next one. Every lesbian has their straight girl phase, right? I had one where I was convinced I was going to convert this girl from my office. Spoiler alert, she had a boyfriend the entire time and thought we were just having a really intense friendship. I only realised it wasn't mutual when she asked me to help her pick out an anniversary gift for her boyfriend. Oh, that's got to be tough to take. Like, imagine you are convinced you and this person are like hitting it off, like it's really intense, like the eye contact's there, the whatever's there, and then she asks you to help her pick out an anniversary gift for her boyfriend. I'd be crushed and I would probably have to move jobs. That sounds rough. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Okay, next one. My ex broke up with me out of nowhere, but the best part was she forgot that I followed her on Spotify. 2 days later, she made this public playlist called I Deserve Better, featuring Beyonce's Irreplaceable. It also had Olivia Rodrigo and some Billie Eilish on there. Honestly, I wasn't even that mad because the playlist was fire. So she broke up with you. Yeah, my ex broke up with me, and then she made an I Deserve Better playlist. How does that work? If you break up with me, then I have the right to make an I Deserve Better playlist, not you. But, I mean, I'm glad that you've seen the funny side of that situation and you enjoy listening to the songs on there. I guess every time you listen to that playlist, you can have a little giggle. Okay, we've got a couple more for today, friends. So, I was on a date with this really fit girl and we were having a laugh chatting about our exes. Turns out we've both dated the same woman, but it gets worse. She's still best friends with her. She texts her in the middle of our date being like, you won't believe who I'm on a date with. And all the ex has to say is, you'd both be quite well suited because you're equally chaotic. No way. I feel like the theme of this podcast has been friends with your exes, knowing someone's ex, or what was the other one? I've just gone blank. Had a brain blank. What was the other thing that we were speaking about? Can't remember. It's going to stress me out trying to remember it. Yeah, that's insane. Like, imagine you just chatting, oh, you're right to date this girl, she played football for this team. Oh my god, no way, I dated someone who played football for that team. Oh my god, no way, like, I was dating Susan. Oh my god, no way you were dating Susan. Me too. Crazy. That is insane. And then the fact that it said you'd be well suited, you're both equally chaotic. That's quite funny. At least she didn't, like, get mad or be like, oh my god, stay well clear of this one. At least she was able to, you know, find a bit of a laugh in that situation. That is quite funny. Imagine going on a date and you, but I wonder if you, like, went on another date or stayed together. Like, imagine inviting that person to the wedding. Like, whose friend does she come as? You know how, I mean, obviously everyone at the wedding's there for, like, you and your partner, but you know when it's like you sit on, like, the bride's side or the groom's side, or most people now, you know, they do it, you sit wherever you want. But imagine it's like, who's she coming under? Whoever she dated first, whoever she dated for the longest. That is so funny. Okay, should we do one more? let's do one more for today. It's been a fun little episode, hasn't it? I thoroughly enjoy every episode, but this has been a fun little episode. Some good little stories in there. No, not many dilemmas, so if anyone wants to send in some dilemmas, please send in some dilemmas, but I'm very much enjoying the stories. They are giving me a good laugh. I brought this girl home to meet my family, and my mum absolutely loved her. They spent the entire night chatting about Bake Off and sharing recipes, whilst I was sat there like a third wheel. When we split up, my mum was fuming. She still brings her up now and then, like, remember Emily? She had such a lovely sense of humour. Shame you ruined that. Cheers, Mum. Oh my goodness. You know what? My mum still sometimes brings up my ex-boyfriend from, like, God knows how many years ago. She's like, oh, wasn't he so lovely? Wonder what he's doing now. I'm like, fuck what he's doing now. Okay. I mean, we ended very fine. Like, there was no... He was a nice person, but... I remember, it's funny actually, like, I knew when I was with him, when I broke up with him, I was kind of like, we're not going to get married, like, I know that we're not going to be together forever, so this just seems pointless. Maybe that's when I should have known I was a lesbian, because I just could not simply see a future with this man. Being in his presence made me feel so, I don't even know the word, I just didn't want to be around him, like, it pissed me off. He was lovely though, don't get me wrong, but Mum still sometimes brings him up. Yeah, that is... funny that she just brings her. Remember, shame you ruined that. I bet, Mother, how very dare you? I guess so, like if me and Taylor broke up now, touch wood we won't, like, my mum and dad would 100% miss Taylor, and I know Taylor's family would 100% miss me. I hope. John and Lucy, would you miss me? I hope you would. I love Taylor's family, they're so cute. It's like so nice going to Taylor's house, because my family, like, I don't know if you just heard that, like, my dad just opens the door and I'm like, I'm busy. I didn't even look at him, to be fair, but, you know, Taylor's family, like, they just give you your space, and sometimes you just need your space. You don't need someone to just come and open the door and, what are you doing? Just like my family. I do love them, but yeah, Taylor's family, they're pretty cool, so if you're watching Taylor's family, love you guys. Hate doing hearts like that. Anyone else? I just, look at my fingers, like, they look so weird doing it. I'm a this heart kind of gal. I'm going a bit crazy now, I fear. I'm a little bit tired today, so I feel like this episode's been like a little bit sporadic and erratic from me. I've been a bit all over the place. Can't sit still, I've got my feet like on, keep changing the way I'm sat, I'm just, can't quite get comfy. Maybe this is my sign to buy one of them, like, comfy podcast chairs. I actually still have some money left from the payout of mine and Taylor's content filming that we did. So maybe I could put some of that money towards a big chair to film the podcast in, and maybe, like, decorate this wall a little bit more podcast. Yeah, I would love, I can imagine, like, a neon sign, like, right here that says, like, Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian. That would be so cool, like, on air. I think I might need to invest. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, maybe come over to YouTube and you can see where I'm going to put my my sign and my chair, if I get a chair. I feel like I should. I feel like I'd be more comfortable. And then maybe one of them mics that, like, comes to my face, you know, like the ones that have, like, the long arms. I'm definitely going a bit crazy now. I apologise for the state of me. It's all a bit much, isn't it? Like, this between Christmas and New Year, I don't know what day of the week it is. I've hardly eaten a real meal. It's all chocolate and pizza. I mean, that's all I normally eat anyway, but I'll pretend. It's just all a bit crazy. What did I do yesterday? I went to the chip shop and I said to the lady, can I have loads of vinegar, a little bit of salt? And then she was like, yeah. Then she went to do it and I was like, remember, a little bit of vinegar, loads of salt. And she looked at me and she's like, I thought you didn't want loads of salt. And I was like, no, I don't want loads of salt. I want loads of vinegar, little bit of salt. She was like, but you just said loads of salt, little bit of vinegar. And I was like, I'm going insane. So, yeah, my hair's gone crazy. It's all a bit much at the minute, isn't it? But it is the new year. Well, not quite for me yet, but when you listen, it is the new year. Happy New Year. I hope all your 2025 dreams, goals, wishes, plans come true, come to fruition. Please, please, please leave the podcast a review. Give us a download. Tell your friends to download. Let's get Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian earning a little bit of months in 2025. Wouldn't that be so cool? Any brands who want to work together in form of ads for the podcast or on social media, hit me up. I'm a very reasonably priced gal. If you want to work together, that sounds so wrong, doesn't it? Not in that sense. But yeah, have a lovely 2025. Hope your New Year's celebrations went fabulously. And I'll speak to you all next week for next week's episode. If you haven't sent in your stories, your dilemmas, your questions, just threw something on the floor, anything like that, please send them in and I will read them out on an episode of the podcast. Love you all so much. Bye!